What's up, Slimeball FM here, and with Saint-Etienne, and this is the start of the second season. So I'm gonna start by showing you the transfers in and out. Starting with the free transfers, we have Yohan Cabaye. This one might surprise you, as well as one that we in a second. But yeah, basically, I just didn't feel like re-signing a 34-year-old to $16K a week. Didn't really feel like that was worth it, so I decided to let him move on, and then he ended up signing for Real Valladolid. And it was the same story here for Leo Lacroix, who ended up signing for Toulouse. Basically, what I realized is I play with ball-playing defenders, and I mean, he might be one of the worst technical players in the entire league. So while he is massive and scored a lot of key set-piece goals for us, I just decided to move on from him. And I thought that, that was the best decision. He's, it's a $13K that I got off the wage budget, and we weren't given much money at all. We were only giving $1.8 million for this summer. So, I mean, I had to make decisions like this just to free up a little bit of money. Now, this was unfortunate. So, Loic Perrin, was in my plans to be one of my starting center backs. This was going to be his last year playing. But then he either tore his ACL or broke his leg or something like that. So then he decided to just retire early because he was going to retire at the end of the season anyway. So now he's become a coach. Not a very good one, so I'm just going to let him be. But, yeah, basically it meant that we had to end up going out and spending money on a new center back. Now, here's the first transfer where we ended up making money, and this one might seem like an odd one to you because, well, of course you guys saw the 6'5" beast of a striker, Constant Kone, when I showed you guys the youth intake. And yes, that would be correct. He is the one that has 5-star potential, yes. But the problem here is that I accidentally had my director of football or my president or whoever doing the contracts for my youth team. So he messed up the contract renewal with Constant Kone, and then RC Lens swooped in before it let me offer a new contract for him, and they basically just stole him from me. So that's the first transfer. The next transfer here is we got £650,000 for Kevin Manet-Piquet, who is a serviceable player for us, and we have been provided good depth in this left attacking mid position. But again, we just didn't get much money at all for this window, so I decided that it would be best to let him go once I got that offer. So he's going to be playing for Valenciennes, and yes, we did take a little bit. Obviously, his value is $1 million, so we did get a little bit less than his value. But I just really needed the money to strengthen the squad all around. And in this position, since I have Kazri, Bouanga, Boudabous can even play there sometimes. That's not where I need players. I needed center back depth. I needed wing back depth. I needed to fill in this right mid position. So. Yeah, that's basically what my logic was there. The last transfer out was Frank Honorat. This one was less my choice. We got $1.9 million for him. Basically, he just wanted to leave once he got the offer. Leeds are in the Premier League now, so he decided that he would leave once the offer came in, and I couldn't really stop him, and I needed the money as well, so it wasn't like too, I wasn't too against him leaving. So even though he was probably my best defensive winger, I thought I could probably bring in somebody just as good as him for less money in that role, so I just decided to let him go. And yeah, so that was the most money that we got for any of the transfers. That was the biggest out. Now I'll start with the ins. The first player we brought in was the replacement for Honorat. We had his name was not Dragon. I'm gonna put it back, but here's his name. Dragon Mihajlovic, and I decided I was not going to say that, so we just went with Dragon. He's obviously he's not a standout player statistically, but he's very good all around, and I think he'll do wonders in this defensive winger role, which he's actually natural at. So that's why I signed him, because that's the role that we're playing in the system. He's basically just going to be signed for this system, basically. Next, for £375,000, we signed O'Connell. I don't know how you say this name. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So yeah, we signed him for $375,000 from Rockdale in Sky Bet League 1, where he had an excellent season. He played all 37 matches. It might seem like a really big step up for him to take, but I think that he's ready for that. personally, so I think he's going to be one of our starting center backs, along with another signing that I made. Our next signing is Mario Pineda for $400,000. Basically, when another one of our EU spots opened up, so I decided to fill it with Mario Pineda, who had been playing in the Ecuadorian league for his entire career. He played for Barcelona in Ecuador, and he was getting like pretty regular time there for a while. The last few seasons he hasn't been getting too regular time, but I decided that I was going to get him as our starting left back because we were playing Palencia in left back for the majority of the season, and with Colo departing, we needed a new left back. We didn't have much money, so I bought him for £400,000. I think it was a great signing personally. I mean, he has pretty good stats. I think he's going to be great in this role. So the wingback role. So I think I'm just going to play him there and see how that goes. Here's our next signing at the right back position. The Swiss right back Nicolas Luchinger. I think that's how you say it. Luchinger. I have no idea. I think. Yep. Here's another nickname. I think we're just going to go with Nick. So here's Nick at right back. What did I buy him for? I bought him for £575,000. Last season he only played 2 games in the Swiss league, but before that he played 20, and like he had pretty regular time in the Swiss league before that. So I decided that he would make a good starting right back for us in that wing back position that he's pretty natural at. I mean, obviously he doesn't have any standout stats, but he's a very good all-around player, and really, I mean, for us, he's pretty good. So I decided that I would, and again, my budget wasn't very large, so I definitely had to buy in a budget in this window. Here's my last signing. I don't like what I'm seeing here, but here's my last signing. He's a center back, Stipe Vucer. He cost me $575,000. Basically, I just wanted somebody who has decent enough technicals and can play the ball well enough to play in my like he has good passing, 12 passing, and he good positioning and good teamwork, pretty decent physicals. Not fast, but he's like 6'4", 200 pounds. He's a big dude. So before this, he had been. We bought him for $575,000. Before this, he had been playing in the Croatian league. He had played 1 game this year before, but before coming to us, but he was a pretty regular. And he also has experience in the 2nd division in Germany. So I mean, I thought he'd be a pretty good player to bring. The thing I have noticed, if you look at first of all, we made $1 million in profit, but also our ins, and like a lot of our ins aren't players that have ever played at this high of a division. So we're basically just betting on them. We're betting on them to be able to take that step up, because this is going to be a massive step up. These are going to be all players that have never even played at a top division besides maybe Pineda in Ecuador, and they're all going to be playing in a Europa League campaign and taking pretty big part in it. So hopefully that works out. I'll be right back with the lineup for the first match of the episode. So here's the lineup for the first match of the episode. We're playing against Valenciennes. So we have our back four of Pineda, O'Connell, and Vucer, and then Nick on the right wing. And then we have Ruffier in goal. Still, we have Mvia in defensive mid. We have Dragon on the right wing, Budabu's in the center mid role, and then we have Bouanga, Kazri, and Juric up top. And then on the bench, we have Bajic, our young, high potential goalkeeper. We have Makudi, who's our backup center back. We have Yusuf, Cristaldo, Palencia, Wagner, who was a Brazilian winger that I thought he was Brazilian. He's actually from Cape Verde, and he was on loan he was loaned out last year, but he's gonna play a decent part off the bench, and whenever we need someone to fill in this season. And then we have Dione, who of course was also on loan for the majority of last season, and he's gonna hopefully play a big part in this season as well. So this is the lineup we're going for the first game. I'm not sure how good of a team Valenciennes is. I don't remember playing them last year, but I mean, also a lot of the teams blend in for me. It's not a league I'm too familiar with, but I mean, I'm hoping to get more familiar with it as the save goes on. That is the goal. So okay, what I did, so they're the team I didn't realize that they're the team that I sold Mane Piquet to, and they're also the team I'm loaning out Gabriel Silva to. So we have one of our former players, one of our current players playing against us. They have Bong at the back, which is just hard. And then I don't really know any of their other players. Let me look at their bench. No, they have a dude whose name is simply Alv. Or Ali, sorry, I thought it was a V. Ali. Okay, that makes more sense. Probably not ideal that our entire defense is making their debuts. Dragon is also making his debut, so we have 5 debuts in the starting lineup. I'm going to say, aggressively, I expect nothing but a win. Okay, so they're not fucking with me like that. I'll say this. Okay, good team talk. And I think our stuff should be right. Yep. Okay, so this is going to be the first match of the new season. And here we have a highlight. Budaboos puts a corner in. It's towards Juric, but prior their goalie catches it. Now he's going to be looking for an outlet. He finds Gabriel Silva, and hopefully he got the message that we sent to him to completely sabotage this game. But it doesn't seem like he did because he made an intelligent play there. Nick with some very interesting defending there. That was definitely not orthodox. He just dove to the ground, almost tackling the ball with his head there. And now Cabral, he's on the break. Cabral, what a finish from Kevin Cabral, and Valenciennes has gone up 1-0 already, and this is not a good sign. This makeshift, hopefully not makeshift, this is the defense I'm planning on going the whole season with, but this newly put together defense just let Cabral get right through, and that's a brilliant finish. I'm not going to hold him with that. I mean, this is besides that chance, this was an extremely poor half. We ended up with 15 shots, 7 shots on target, but there was no other opportunities, no other highlights besides their goal, which is unfortunate. I'm going to tell the team I was very disappointed because I did want this first match to be a kind of a statement match for us, like us to show that we do have intentions of at least making the Europa League again this year. Hopefully, and doing better in the Europa League. So that we can get some more money, so we can actually improve the fortunes of the team and try to make progress towards that eventual French League title that we're aiming for. I'm going to tell them to show me something else in the second half. Nick's the only one that doesn't fuck with it. I'm going to say I'm not individually tell him I do not fuck with him at all, and hopefully that will work out for us. Okay, now we have a throw-in right by the corner flag. Pineda, a long throw, which is what I have set for these tactics. We have such tall players. And Juric, the guy that this entire system was created around, Juric heads it in. That's a brilliant throw-in from Pineda. And Juric, I mean, I don't know how out of anyone on the pitch that Juric isn't the one that you're marking, but he heads it off the bottom of the crossbar. The goalie is in absolute no man's land. There's nothing he can do there, and we're right back into this match. It looks like we have a corner here directly after the goal. Budaboos finds him via Kasri, and Kasri shots wide. And our set pieces have looked very, 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 very fluid so far. And Budaboos, another set piece. Budaboos puts it in for Kasri, and Kasri heads it over. All of our chances have really been created off these set pieces. I think that that's going to be one of our big strengths this season because of the size of our team. I think that set pieces are really something we're going to have to play to our strength, like one of our strengths we're gonna have to play to. So Pineda running down the line. He looks inside. He looks for Dragon, and his header's saved by Pryor. We've had 14 corners to their 1. We've had 24 shots to their 5, 12 on target to their 3. If anyone deserves to win this match, it's definitely us. Now, Envia, is there more to this highlight? Envia is running like a madman, trying to find an option. Budaboos behind him collects the ball that he lost. Kasri, Envia, Budaboos, and we're just playing it around the box, trying to find an opportunity. Pineda has space to put the ball in, maybe towards George, but he finds Envia instead, and his shot's wide. And we have another throw-in. If we can get another goal like the last one, but Pineda throws it to Budaboos this time instead of George, he cannot finish it, and it looks like they're trying to counter us here. But we are adept to it here. O'Connell finds Pineda. Pineda, maybe he's been active in these last 20 minutes. Maybe he can find a chance. He finds Dragon on the right side. If he can play it back, maybe. Or he finds Envia. Envia scores. And we're up 2-1. This is a brilliant comeback from the boys, from the Saint-Etienne boys. Dragon gets his first assist of the campaign, and that's a brilliant find from Dragon and a great finish from Envia. Look, I thought he was going to play it back to Nick here, but Dragon looks inside with his weaker foot, finds Envia, and Envia smashes it past Pryor. I think now, even though we've been on attacking, I think because because we've been so dominant, I think we still go on positive, and I think that's really all we have to do to change. I think we just go on positive, and that should be good enough to not like extend ourselves too far. Besides that, I think that we are in a great opportunity to win this game. We have another chance here. Buddha Boost puts it in towards George. George's header is just over. And again, I'm telling you, these set pieces I think are going to be the key to us winning a lot of matches that we might not have our business winning because of the size of our strikers, the size of our players. And it looks like Mukanjo has been played through. Mukanjo, that's a brilliant save from Raffier to keep our lead. If we had been scored on there, it would have been a heartbreaking defeat. A heartbreaking tie because look at just the statistical dominance. I mean, maybe not in the possession category, but everywhere else we're just absolutely thumping them. And there it is, our first match of the season, won 2-1, Saint-Etienne. The boys have come through at the end, and a big goal from Jurich, a big goal from Mvia. Jurich has gotten his Man of the Match award for the first match of the season, and it looks like this system around him may have some merit. I'm going to say that was a great win for us. I mean, what a brilliant result that was. I'm going to come back for the next match. And boys, we have made a signing here. A goalie named Ilija Khrushchev we've signed for just 3.8K. He does look a little crazy. He's got 20 eccentricity. Is not always a good thing, but he also has 15 kicking, 16 handling, 16 command of the area, and he's only 18 years old. We've signed him from the club was Viborg FF in Denmark in the Nordic Bet Liga. He had already made 2 appearances, and he's only 18 years old. While he did let in 4 goals, I mean, that's to be expected of such a young keeper. We've bought him for 3.8K, and he has 2.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability. So, I mean, obviously he could turn out to be an incredible goalkeeper for us in the future, and I think right now he's a good backup to have along with Badgic. They can share that role, and also he's just like he has a lot. His stats are very good for his age. So, I mean, I think it's a great signing, especially because it costs us only 3.8 thousand. And I've had to be really frugal with this window, but I think this is probably our best signing so far. We've made yet another signing here. This one obviously he doesn't have the same potential as the one I just showed you as Vocec, but he has 1.5-star current ability, 2.5 to 3.5-star potential. He's a 16-year-old player from Wales, and he was also, I mean, the reason we made this signing, it was a free transfer. He was a free agent, and they basically said that he had from 2.5 to 5-star potential. I thought, what's the problem if it's free? He's only making $700 per week. I didn't see the harm in it. I didn't feel like it was worth the time scouting to make sure that he was the perfect player. I thought he had already made 3 appearances, whether it was for Met Uni or not. He's only 16 years old, so I thought, why not? It doesn't seem to be that bad of a signing. He could always this potential could always be incorrect at this point too. He's only 16 years old, so you never know. And he can play a left back position, and I think that a 3.5-star left back would obviously be our best left back. So I mean, if he gets to that point, that'd be great. And like, he has great stats that like can't be taught, like 20 bravery, 17 determination, stuff like that. That like you can't just teach the average player. So I mean, I feel like that's a good sign. He has probably a good personality, fairly determined. That's pretty decent. And I mean, yeah, I think it's not a bad signing by any means. So we've made yet another signing. This is another free signing. This one is Zhu Wei. He's a Chinese player. He came from a team called Oriental Dragon, but it's actually a team in Portugal, interestingly enough. I thought when I bought him it was a team in China, but he's actually from a team in Portugal, which means he may be... Information. I don't know if he's Does he count as EU? Or is he non-EU? I have no idea how you check that, but anyway, he is a attacking right mid, and he can also play center, attacking mid, and center mid. And he has 3.5-star potential, 1.5-star current ability, and he's also free. So I mean, what's the harm, right? He's making $775 per week, and I mean, so I made a lot of those kind of signings this summer because I didn't have much money to play with. So I just thought, why not just take a stab at something, and if it turns out to be great, it turns out to be great. If not, if not. Okay, so here's our lineup for the game against Bordeaux. I think this is going to be a more difficult test. I think they're a stronger team. But yeah, we're gonna go with the same. We're gonna go with the same first team that we went with last time, and then the bench is pretty much the same, I think, as well. Except I switched out Badgers with Kochev just because I signed him. I thought it'd be cool. So, and I just really like the fact that he has like 20 eccentricity. He just seems like an absolute madman. So, and it also has been updated. Oh wait, no, he's the one who has 4.5 star potential ability. He also has 3-star current ability, which is pretty crazy. I mean, he's only 18 years old. That is kind of absurd. I think that maybe that 4.5 star might be wrong, but we'll see. Okay, so he doesn't have a number. What's a good number for a goalie? None of these. None of these are good numbers for a goalie. He's a madman. We're going 99, baby. Going 99 for my boy. Just in case Ruffier ever gets injured, he's going to be the one that steps in. So, Huang Yui Zhou at striker for them. He can't be good. Koscielny, okay. But, I mean, he has to not even be able to move anymore at this point. Which Traore is this? Amadou Traore. Okay, I have no idea who that is. Yeah, we were going with the same lineup that we went with last game. I really do expect us to win this because besides Adley, I'm really not actually familiar with any of their players. So, I mean, I hope that we do have the ability in the side and in the system to be able to win this match. And we have a corner here in the 30th minute. First highlight of the match. Mvia finds Pineda, and Pineda, can he put a cross in? No, but Kasri takes a shot. Kasri! Oh my goodness, what a goal from Kasri. Oh my goodness. I thought Mvia would take a shot or something, or we would take a shot that was off target, but with only 37% of the possession, our first chance comes off yet another set piece. Pineda finds Mvia, and then Kasri, just what a curler that is. That's a brilliant goal, and this is a great start to the match. Our first away match of the season. I'm pretty sure our first one was at home, and I mean that puts us up to second place in the division. Of course, I mean we also started great last season, so it doesn't necessarily mean that. I mean, we had a pretty good season considering how bad our team was. Fourth wasn't bad. Now, it's played into Jurich. He doesn't have any options, but he finds Bouanga brilliantly there. That's a great ball. Bouanga makes one man fall. He finds Pineda on the outside. Pineda back into Kasri, and Kasri makes it 2-0. And what a start to this match this is for Kasri. Kasri already has 2 goals in this match. Pineda's been active. He's been putting in balls all over the place. I don't know what this defender here, Kalu, I don't know what he was doing, but Bouanga made him fall just by walking in a straight line. So I'm not exactly sure how that's worked. He's definitely failed the sobriety test there. But we have another set piece here, and this time Castile is aware to it, and maybe they'll try to counter here. Although we've had less possession, we've definitely had more shots on target. We've been the more active team, and we've been rewarded for that. There was their chance, but I mean that's a terrible finish. It never really looked like it was even a threat. And now we have, although the first 30 minutes were highlightless, we've had a ton of action in the last 15 of the half. And now Bouanga tries to intercept. He is still working to try to get to it, but now it's in the path of Vucer. Vucer plays it into Dragon. Dragon has the overlap, but it looks like he's going to take it himself. No, Nick. He finds Nick into the path of Boudabou's, but I thought it was going. The reason it was a little delayed is I thought he was actually going to Bouanga, but the ball found Boudabou's in its own way, and Boudabou's just headed it a little wide. Kasri with the 2 goals puts us up 2-0 at halftime. I'm going to tell them, this might seem controversial, but I really don't like the fact that we've just been completely outpossessed and out. I'm going to say I'm not happy, and they've all agreed with it somehow. We are up 2-0, second match of the season. I said I wasn't happy, and I don't really understand why they've all agreed with it. I think they just know I'm an asshole in the press conference. I'm in the dressing room, so they're just used to it. But Boudabou's finds Bouanga. Bouanga down the line. Can he get a ball in? What a move from Bouanga. He's been making defenders miss all game, and he has to put in a ball there, but he decides to take it on his own, and he hits it wide, and there's an instant reply highlight back. And now Depervel, the one who took the terrible shot in the beginning of the match, starts this attack. Pablo puts it back to Castile. Maybe he can hit one up, but instead they try to play it simply out the back. But Bouanga intercepts Koscielny's poor pass. Maybe he can put a ball in this time. Instead, he finds Boudabou's, who finds Mvia. We're just kind of passing it around the edge of the box. Maybe they can find this space on the wings here. You see Pineda has space, but instead Kasri gets his hat trick. That's a brilliant ball from Juric, playing his role as a target man perfectly. And I mean, I thought that they were gonna. I wasn't even really looking in this middle area here. I thought that we were gonna expose these wide areas here, but instead Juric had a different idea. Finds Kasri, who gets to that ball first. He kind of put it in a 50-50 area, and Kasri makes it 3-0. That's a brilliant goal from Kasri. And it's been about 30. We've just been playing it defensively. It's been about 30 minutes since our last highlight, but it's in the path of Vucer, and he had a chance. Our long throw works perfectly again, trying to find one of our big threats in the center. We either have our two center backs, or we have Juric's 6'6" frame to look for, but it looks like Evie's going to help them counter, take a shot, and wow, that was poor. I mean, the angle was cut off brilliantly there by Nick, but I mean, still, that's a very poor shot from Evie. And now Nick, with the long throw that we know he can do, Juric with a looping header, and that's a brilliant header from Juric. I don't know how he even got it that close, but that Budabus finds Buwangu, tries to get it back towards Kasri, and he can't. But with just 3 minutes left, it looks like we're going to win this match. This could be the last highlight of the game, and it looks like it's for us. Buwangu, what a run from Buwangu. We know how he does these runs, but it looks like Koscielny makes a great last-ditch tackle, or Buwangu just kind of ran out of gas there, because we know Koscielny isn't someone who's extremely quick. But towards Juric, and it's just over the goal. And another game where we have a ton of shots on target, and we're just very dominant. And I think that, I mean, this is a great sign for how we're going to play for the rest of the season. I mean, against the teams that are weaker teams, I mean, Bordeaux's not even a weaker team in the division, but just against the teams that aren't this kind of like top 5, area, it looks like we're just absolutely dominant, which is definitely a good sign. Us and Leon alone are at the top of the table, and Kasri with a brilliant hat trick. I mean, I think that we just have to put our hats up to him. I mean, obviously without him we don't win that match, but also Pineda, I think we have to say, had a great match. And then, I mean, Pineda has just been a great presence so far this season. I think his creative presence was definitely underrated by me. I thought he was just going to be a good defender, but creatively he's been great as well. I'm going to tell them, good performance, don't let it get to your heads, and we're going to end the episode here. Let me go see where we're going to come back for the next episode, however. Let's say schedule. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you can see now, I forgot to show you, but our preseason went brilliantly with this tactic. So I think that the asymmetric is really working for the way that we have our team set up. I think that we have to go with whatever the first UEFA League game is, Europa League game is, and probably Strasbourg. Because, I mean, I just want to get like a decent amount of games in between here. If this is a terrible team, I might even go down to the second Europa League group stage. Like, if this is like I know what happened last time, but like if this is just some like absolute bummy team, or if even both of these are, then I could do this in Marseille. I mean, there's a lot of options I have. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not exactly sure. It really just depends on the draw. But I'll see you guys for the next episode tomorrow either way. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And follow social medias in the description. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Schlep.